9 months, 9 minutes, the Pixel 4a. So one phone that has stayed true to the game is the Pixel 4a from Google. This phone has amazed a lot of people, coming in at $350. So today we'll take a look at it months later in 2021. Let's go. You look at a phone like this and you just see that footage from the video and the photos, and you think, man, there's no way this phone costs $350. Well, that's one thing that has stayed true to this phone, is it has stayed pretty much the same price since launch. And the reason being is that it's actually great value for the consumer. So let's follow up 9 months later. This is one of my Google Fi phones, and it's been absolutely fantastic the entire time of ownership. This has a 5.8-inch display. It's 1080p, 23 by 40, and that's just a high pixel count because of how small it is. That comes in at 443 pixels per inch for those that are actually wondering. Now, it's a 12 megapixel shooter on the back, just one, and that's okay, because you saw what that 12 megapixel just did. If you look there on the back, you've got a fingerprint reader. This is something that helped out so many people during the past year for all the troubles that we've had here in the United States and across the world. So all those people affected by that, hopefully, you know, when you came to your smartphone, you didn't have something that requires your face, and that you had something with a physical fingerprint reader, because that is definitely what we needed during that time. 6 gigs of RAM, a 3,140 milliamp hour battery, the Snapdragon 730G. Now, the display, and just looking at the hardware. When this phone first launched, there was a mixed bag of people, and everybody's opinion was completely different on it. Some people loved it, some people hated it. I absolutely loved it. I thought the hardware was great. But now here we are 9 months later, and I know Google can produce something better. This is safe. And I don't know if I've ever said that about the Pixel 4a. This is a safe, sure thing. It's not over the top. It's smooth, sleek. You know, it's really nice, man. It's really nice. You're looking at stereo speakers, a headphone jack. It's just really, really nice, man. And I think the hardware alone should win a lot of people over. Let's take a look at the screen. I'm just going to go in and fire up a video. I'll go to my other channel. And I'll go ahead and view the channel. And then I'll go ahead and play a video. What's up, folks? It's your man Jay back on the video. So it's the weekend. Pulled out the beautiful Velocity Red, sometimes orange, sometimes tangerine, whatever it is. Almost 2,000 miles, man. I'm right under 2,000 miles. And I wanted to go ahead and do a video for you, let you know real ownership. This is how I like to do it. So, yeah, 2,000 miles later, dope ride. Alright folks, what's going on? Back with another video. So finally I got a chance to wax the truck and really give it a good cleaning. And the point I'm making here, folks, the point I'm making about this screen is that it's absolutely beautiful. There's not a lot of phones in this price range that have a beautiful display like this. And this is something that you should take note of. You really should, because this is an OLED HDR display, and it's a compact, small display. You see? So I do have the iPhone mini, but I have my 12 and my Max right here next to me. So I'll bring in the 12 just to show you. This is a 6.1 inch display, and this is a 5.8 inch on the Pixel 4a. These phones battle it out, but reality is this phone costs half the price of this device, and that's saying a lot. You get a lot of value depending on the company, and I've always said that if you want an iPhone, the iPhone 12 is probably the one to get. Well, I made the 4a 5G the top pick for me from Google when it comes to purchasing a device. But I also stated that if you're a person who still doesn't want to spend $500, Google has you covered. They have you covered because they have the Pixel 4a. This phone loses a camera, or I'm not going to say loses a camera because this was actually the first one. It doesn't have the dual camera setup. It doesn't have the IP rating. It doesn't have the 90 hertz. But what it has is everything you need. You've got 4K recording at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 60 up to 120. It's got gyro EIS, auto HDR, panorama, pixel shift, LED flash, not to mention the f1.7 aperture on this 12 megapixel camera. So, I mean, you're getting a whole bunch here for $350. And I think this is probably one of the most fairly priced devices for value to customer from a trusted company. And that is no sales pitch. That is the truth. Now, I have been using this on Google Fi since I got it. Actually, obviously, you know, I have more than one line. So I've been using this on Google Fi since I've had it. And I just think it's incredible, the value that's being offered here. It's just over the top when it comes to how they're trying to take care of the customer. This phone got critiqued and criticized so much. It's incredible that some people just could not see the value here for the consumer. The everyday person, this is a phone that you should consider still to this day. Some people, again, don't want to spend $500 on the Pixel 4a 5G. You know what? You don't have to have 5G because you got the 4a. Now, over the years, this phone, over the months, I should say, this phone has gotten several updates, and I am on the latest security patch. We're in May, and I have the May security patch. That is one thing that you definitely can look forward to when it comes to this device. You can look forward to getting all the latest updates. That is what you can look forward to. Now, stock Android has been called boring. I personally think stock Android is incredible. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. There are little things in here that this phone can do that a lot of phones cannot do. There's a thing called call screening. Call screening, folks, is one of the most boss up features you can have on a device, period. Call screening. And now it's not just on the Pixel devices. I think I used it on my OnePlus. I forgot what Android device I was using, and I used it on there. And I was like, oh, I didn't know I had call screening. I think it was my OnePlus 9. Yeah, call screening is now available on other Android devices. At least I know it's available on the 9. I used it on the 9 already. So that is a huge, huge plus. Having call screen is one of the best features. You can have this phone stay on hold for you. You know how you get on hold? You can have the phone stay on hold for you. That's fantastic technology. Google I/O was recently in Android 12. The next iteration of Android is going to be Boss. There's a lot of nice features in there. Now I'm hovering on this part of my app trace because right here you have Recorder. Of all the devices I've ever tried for voice dictation, the Google Pixel devices have been the best at this, and it's simply amazing. The quality that you get from this application is simply top-notch. Using this to run a website makes my life so much better. That is one of the best features that you can possibly have on your smartphone. If you're like me and you run a website, you will love that feature, period. This phone is officially 9 to 10 months old. It is absolutely great. Performance is good. You know, day-to-day tasks is what people should really be looking at. And day-to-day tasks, 6 gigs of RAM, it's going to flow through everything with 6 gigs of RAM. I mean, look how fast this phone is. Most people's timeline, when you're shooting through it like that, it can get kind of laggy, you know? But hey, who's to say that Google won't make even more improvements to their software that we don't know about? I really hope Google does well with the Pixel 6. I'm super excited. I mean, I'm just ecstatic at what I know they can do. The Pixel 4a is probably one of the best devices that a person that's on a really tight budget could do for themselves. It's just that good. It's your man Jay. 9 months, 9 minutes, the Pixel 4a.